Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And today, we're talking about Prokofiev's suites from the ballet Romeo and Juliet. Now, I am assuming that a lot of you will have multiple recordings of the complete ballet, which is absolutely marvelous. It really is. It's one of the great classical Russian ballets. The problem with it is that it has a lot of repetition internally. And I can understand, however wonderful the tunes are, and they are splendid, that you may not want to have that much repetition and hear these things over and over and over again. I don't really have that much of a problem, but the suites are so effective on their own, and they're full of music of incredible virtuosity and color that really, really shows off a great orchestra. And, that's really why I listen to them. I think they have a completely independent existence, and I don't judge, one greater than the other. Now, the issue, however, with getting bits of the ballet and the suites, because they're not exactly, Prokofiev diddled the orchestration when he arranged the suites in certain ways and, arranged things a bit. So they're not 100% the same as what you hear in the ballet, first of all. It's another reason why they have their own authentic and independent existence. But the other issue is that there are three of them, and the first two are really popular, the third much less so. There are recordings of all three suites because you can squish them onto one CD. It's really near the limit of CD playing time when you do, or the old CD playing time, 75, 80 minutes up there. But the best performances of the suites are all excerpts of the suites. They just are. I don't know why that's true. I don't know why people just couldn't say, I'm going to do suites 1 and 2 complete. That's it. Do it. Some conductors did, but some of the best ones did not. They made their own selection, either jamming numbers from the suites together or leaving out certain numbers from a couple of the suites, and we're just stuck with it. We just have to deal with it. That's what happens here, but it's worth it. It's Riccardo Muti with the Philadelphia Orchestra, when they were really firing on all cylinders. It's an early digital recording. The sonics were a little bit brash. They've been, somehow through, remastering, whatever they did, they sound pretty good now. They really do. But my God, the playing. Oh, those recordings. Remember those recordings that Muti did in Philadelphia, pictures at an exhibition? The Firebird, the Rite of Spring, the Scriabin symphonies, the Liszt Faust symphony. There were just some things that they did that were astonishing. And this was one of them. It really is an amazing, amazing performance. First of all, you start with the incredible soloists of the orchestra, because this music allows certain principals to really strut their stuff, particularly the principal trumpet. In the opening folk dance, yeah, da 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 da. Just this wonderful, tangy, rich vocal timbre. It's just delicious, absolutely delicious. But the real knock'em sock'em moment comes in the death of Tybalt, which begins with the fight music between the two warring factions, the Montagues and the Capulets. And it's, Prokofiev conceived of it as a perpetual motion string thing. It's the string section going like that, on and on, except it's like 5 times faster. It's and the key here in playing it is that some conductors just try and do it as fast as possible, and the result is just a blur. You just hear strings sort of buzzing like, but here they articulate. Because underneath the violins going crazy is a rhythmic ostinato. It's like this underneath. So there's got to be a real sense of rhythm. And the rhythm carries those violins. And if they articulate on top of the rhythm, which they're subdividing by and large, then the result has not just speed, but also a violence and a menace and an energy, a raw, visceral energy that's amazing. And so that's that part, and that's just the first half of the movement. And then it runs into the death of Tybalt, which begins with those chunk, chunk, chunk on the timpani like that. and then cymbals, ba-dum, blum, 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 and then the horns and those whooping horns, they're just incendiary, and the trumpets wailing on top, and oh my God. I mean, when I heard that was just unbelievably fantastic. I mean, the playing was so wonderful. Really the greatest performance recording of that since the Anshul, which is the most powerful and anguished version you'll ever hear of that music, but not as well recorded. It amazingly played and incredibly intense emotionally. But this has that, but with just astonishing virtuosity. And, the balcony scene is gorgeous. And in the second suite, which omits two of the dances, I don't understand why he included Friar Lawrence, who's kind of dull, and left out the piece just called Dance. Da 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 da. That's not there. And the Dance of the Girls with Lilies, I think, is also missing. That's the one that goes chum da da dum ba da dum bum ba da bum. I played maracas in that. I know it. So anyway. But the bottom line is the last two scenes. Romeo and Juliet before parting, and then Romeo and Juliet's death are also extraordinarily intense. You've got the horns ripping with ya da 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 da. Oh my God, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Fabulous. I mean, it's grotesque to remember that James Horner used that to destroy the Enterprise in the search for Spock. One of the most horrible film scores anybody ever conceived. But anyway, it's on here. This EMI twofer. It's in the Muti box. You may be able to download it, but listen to these performances of the Romeo and Juliet suites with Muti in Philadelphia. You will be floored. I guarantee it. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.